Do you know what today is? That's right. It's Happy God Day. Okay, so I kind of get the point here. I'm supposed to come out here and be like, hey, I'm God, guys. Check this out. I'm doing all this stuff. I control the world and all this. And then they're going to be like, oh my God, it's God. And they're going to finally put me on TV and stuff and then make me leader of the world. And then everyone will be like, oh my God, it's God. And I'll be like, yeah, hey, I'm God. And they'll be like, oh my God, it's God. And I'll be like, yeah, hey, I'm God. And they'll be like, oh my God, it's God. And I'll be like, yeah, yep. And they'll be like, oh my God, it's God. And they'll just keep saying, oh my God, it's God. And then like 10 years later, they're going to be like, that's actually Satan. So I think that's the plan here. So I'm God, guys. Welcome to my show. It's a pretty cool show, ain't it? You've got potato chips, and you've got water, and there's some other stuff too. But that's all that matters, right? Potato chips. So there we go. That's the show. Things happen in the world when I say it or think it, and there's no questioning that at all. It's solid. It's confirmed. I've got all these people coming up to me, be like, you know what? I'm looking for Jesus. I'm looking for Jesus. And then I got other people coming up like, yeah, you're someone. I don't like that. And they're following me and they're blowing their horns and stuff, their shofars, and which is weird. Like I guess I'm not supposed to question it. Why people who blow shofars are looking for Jesus. I thought they were supposed to kill me if I'm Jesus, but not look for me and be my friend and stuff. So that's it. That seems to be the story of what's going on here. As you can see, there's a new Jesus every 2 years. Everyone else watches TV, and even I know that, and I don't watch TV, so that gets shown my way. And I guess I'm supposed to ignore that they set someone up every couple years and probably every day, and probably supposed to ignore that that the people who look that way usually die or something. I just looked it up the other day. I was like, I wonder what happened to Jesus. And it's like, oh, Jesus is in prison. Like, oh, you sold out. You sold your soul to God. Well, you lost that bet, didn't you? I guess you shouldn't claim to be God when you're not, but I'm real God. That's what they want me to say. I'm guessing by the visitations I get and stuff like that, and the people talking to me, and the weirdos, the bots and shit they got fucking following me around and stuff. So I guess I'm supposed to be that, and they, like they told me, like it's not the Christians, it's the Catholics. That's not the people who created it. It's the Catholics only. And, so I'm supposed to be a Christian, and I'm the Christian God. It's the only real God out of all the 2,794 different gods and 32 different pantheon of God families. That's the one true God. Even though for some reason the same people keep creating new gods, like even Karl Marx and Einstein and our lords these days, right? I guess because that's always really what the word meant, anyways. So they changed it when the Roman Empire fell. They always had Scooby-Doo stories, but when they made it look like the Roman Empire fell, they invented invisible people. They had that one previously, but they invented new invisible people for other people at that point in time. Apparently, I'm trying to figure it out. That's probably what's going on, right? As weird as God, I don't actually know what's going on. It's fun, and it's the element of surprise. I guess I erase my own memory, and then I come here and I'm like, ooh, this is fun, ain't it? Because if I didn't erase my memory, it definitely wouldn't be fun, because it's like, ooh, wow, we're playing Pong again. Pass me the Atari. That sounds so fun. Oh, you want to go fishing? What in tarnation is fishing? I've never heard of that before, friend. Oh, that thing bit me. What the hell is that? It's a turtle. Oh my God. What in the hell is a turtle? What the hell does it look that way for? It's all dark and green. What the hell is green? I don't know what the hell that is. I'm God. I don't know dumb stuff like that. Apparently someone, it's actually a lot of things, and I don't really think it's a someone, but apparently there's a lot of people who have been talking to me since 2020 and acting all weird and stuff, and I think they were always acting weird, to be honest, but like 2020 is the first time someone came up to me like someone who like fucked me over really, 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 really fucking bad, and like kidnapped and drugged me type shit, fucking came up to me and was like, he was like, someone controls the earth, and things are going on because of it. And I'm like, oh yeah? And so I asked these people, and they're like, I'm like, what? I'm like, you saying something? I'm like, and then, so like, I figured it out. I guess I'm supposed to say I'm God, because the cats has their tongue, and they'd be come up to me and they'd be like, and you've got to start acting like, and what does is it goes around and creating everything. Did you notice that the sky is changing? Did you notice that it's now raining, and it wasn't a minute ago when you walked in the store when you asked for the rains to come? And I'm like, yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, how did you notice it? How do you notice it? That's my question. It's like, damn, I'm and then I don't even know anything about what's going on. Apparently, is a dumbass, and never knew that. Wow, didn't we all know that? We all could have taken a guess. You're just not supposed to say that, all right? But apparently that's a fact, and you don't even know what's going on. You don't even know what's going on your own planet when you come to it. It's weird. So I guess today's the day I come out of the closet. Not like they do, it's different coming out of the closet, but we're not gonna be like, surprise, I've got some little boys in my bedroom right now. None of that. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm good. So it sounds legit, right? It looks legit. Things are happening, like things appear like in the world around me and stuff, like people and items. I'm trying to find something specific because I don't know if all of it appeared like that, but I'm trying to think. I had the store closed the other day, and like there's like all this stuff I need for like my sewing and suicide and art, like magically all appears in one little area of the clearance bare shelf stores. Well, except for the fabric I wanted, or any of the fabric I would want, which was weird because I don't think any other people buy shit like I do anyways. But it wasn't big enough anyways, no big deal. I would just looked at it and left. Probably, but I got razors. That's weird. Like, that's weird. Some of the stuff asked for, how it comes, right? Like, I got my razors and stuff. And my razors are all hanging out on the shelf for like $1. And so that appears. Haven't seen any cyanide tablets for sale or anything, but razors appeared, and then a bunch of other stuff appeared at the store too. And like for instance, I went on a computer, and then this broken computer that on the inside, the software, the entire model of it, its final update disabled the one thing I bought the computer for, the sound on it. So it like fucking threw away my whole fucking half a year of extra fucking money to spend and shit I had. And then I bought a guitar there that was all broken and fucked up, and they made sure they moved me out to an area where, because they're exiling me, apparently. The gods are. Jeffrey Epstein, our Lord and Savior, apparently is trying to exile me with a bunch of his million crackhead bots down at the place where they had the computers with my information, and they could alter it and move me far away from civilization, out of a deep, deep fucking fear they've had since the beginning of my existence. Actually, it's pretty in line with it. Just how much dedication these fucking bots have towards it. It's almost reasonable and stuff, right? It's almost... obviously, it's true, because you know what? Someone, like 1 million people almost said it. It's true. It's true. That's so true. No one else looks like me, and I looked exactly like the Catholic one when I was born, and then I look like the Christian one when I'm older and stuff, and so, and then when I get older, I look like the Father God guy too, so, there we go. We're out of the closet now. Cat's out of the bag. Apparently I have to do that because no one else knows except for all the people randomly appear acting weird and saying weird stuff. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, so I got that great guitar that I couldn't mail back because I get shuffled like they're people have been doing since I was born, trying to take me away from the future and shit. I noticed, like, they must be stealing my ideas from me, because like I'll think shit and music will appear and movies will appear, like playing out my life. Like I'm watching a movie and he's like doing what I'm doing in the theater. In the 10 minutes before that, he was doing what I was just doing right outside the theater that I was recording on camera. And oh wait a minute, it wasn't just what I was doing. It was what the animals outside were doing as well when I was recording. So it wasn't just me staging stuff and then later saying it was happening. But apparently I'm and yeah, so that's what they do. They move you. They poison you and try to kill you, like it says in their books that they poisoned Muhammad and killed Jesus, and they do that because if you're God, you won't die. Pretty much, they're trying to kill anyone who's against their racial supremacy organization. That's all it is. It's all it seems to be. They have a monopoly on racial supremacy, and no one else is allowed to have a racial religion, otherwise known as religion. And then, of course, that's it. Satan invented racial supremacy. 70 trillion years after Earth was created. No one thought of it until then. It was peace, love, happiness, blueberries, sunflower, and fluffy pancakes all day, every day, until Satan came in the form of some rat-looking motherfucker like Gobbles. And he was like, racial supremacy. And then we killed Satan. And we already killed Satan. No need to worry. He's dead. He's dead now. Or something. They think he probably escaped. They probably living with his children, probably living with Epstein in like Rothschild's mansion in Israel or something. Most likely, right? That's a good bet. I'd be willing to bet some money on that, actually. Fucking at least living on the same street, because they're like that. You know, they like to brag and do dumb shit to parade their shit around and stuff. You know, secretly with weird parables, and they don't really change shit too much. They got the fucking New World Order pyramid. The people that were slaves to, they've carved that in some of their churches and shit. It's like, wait a minute, you're supposed to be slaves to them, but all of a sudden you're them, huh? Well, that's weird. And in fact, if you just read the story, the Pharisees and Sadducees would have been most likely the pharaohs and stuff, the pharaohs' minions, or as we see on this planet, like, are they above the government? Are the corporations and religion actually above the government? It's a government just like a facade that's there to wave their hand at people and be like, hey guys, we're going to fix all those problems that we say we're going to fix. See you at re-election. So, really, it works better when you're behind the scenes and no one has to see you. That way, if someone goes and kills the king, then you don't actually die for that. And then you don't have to really do any work either. Like, go outside and wave at people and stuff. I could see how that gets all hard and stuff. Old people and stuff, they're always grumpy and they don't want to stop eating potato chips long enough to smile and wave. So yeah, that's the life of God. There, you're born into pedophile rituals, and then you try to do things, and the whole world's against you because Satan has them under a mind control spell. I wonder who had them under the mind control spell before they invented that word. Did the earth even exist back then? I don't know. There's some questions to be had, because when Putin creates new people, they have backstories, and it makes me question, what is this thing I've just summoned into the world? How does it have a backstory if I actually just summoned it? How do the people around it think it's real if I just created it? And that's not a facade that some alien demon race is putting on and stuff. That has the power to make Scooby-Doo appear if they ever falter in their and the other religions where they have to invent a god because it's not the real God and it doesn't actually exist. So yeah, that's where we're at this point in time. And there's all this stuff going on in the world that I knew was going to happen when I was born. So it should be no surprise that it eventually happened to anyone. It's pretty easy. You just pick up the books and the news, and they're pretty much telling you all this stuff's going to happen. And everyone's like, oh, it's going to happen, and it never does. But it's always happening. So it's always happening. It's happening on different scales at different times. And they escalate. You know, they used to have rocks, and then they got clubs, and then they got swords, and then they got guns, and then they got bombs, and now they got nukes. And really, it's like, you know, it's the apex of human evolution there. It's end times, as they call it. When people go to war in the end times, it'll be the last war. No one will ever have to worry about war ever again, except for the people who survive. Those people will probably continue to cause some wars. Yeah, so that's I can say it. Oh, that's right. I don't have some sort of hacks on me or whatever it is that prevents other people from tiptoeing around calling me God, and don't want to say it, or hell, and then maybe they're just trying to convince me to say it because they want to set me up. Why would anyone do things like that? You know, it's like, I'm God. I'm the one inventing all the not perfectly cooked, unfluffy pancakes. So, you know, I gotta stop acting that way, right? I gotta stop being like, well, what if I'm not God? And I've gotta like own up to it, right? I gotta stop being like, well, you know, that's weird. If I'm God, I get like sent, kicked out of everything in my life, like forced out of moving into the future or doing anything by one certain race and their racial religions, and always identifying themselves each time they come around, like it's their job to have to identify themselves when they cause problems. That way I understand who is the root of all problems on the planet or something. And, you know, moving me around and lying to me, and, you know, fucking, I think it's with all you're buying broke shit. I just don't do anything anymore. I never could. And so, and then, you know, I kind of learned why try. Fucking, there's a short period there. And then you get to all the rat people were getting all antsy and excited. And then they sent someone from Donald Trump, you know, to come hang out with me. And then that person failed the test of are you the enemy or not. And they passed the test of are you a pig. So, technically, are you the government or the people involved in the government? It's the same thing. It's all the same. They're the same people working for the same goals and agenda. It's not any difference just because one makes 10 cents less than the other, wears a different uniform or something. But yeah, that's what God does. He just sits around and he watches the world, because he comes here like the humans are like, hey, we need help, and then God goes there and they're like, and then you're like, ah, yeah, you do need help. You seriously do need some fucking help. You should go get yourself some fucking help. Like, it's a good idea. I don't see why you're fucking saying you need help. You should go get the help you need. Parkside is there. Call 1-800-PARKSIDE and get the cocaine monkey off your back. And they can help you out there. I can tell you to stop using drugs, but you're not even using drugs. That's a poor excuse. Poor excuse for how you act. I didn't even see you use any drugs. You don't blame drugs for that. Weird, but you know, maybe you went in the bathroom and hid it or something all those years. I don't know. Fucking. But yeah, well, that's it. I'm assuming that's what's going on here. You know, it's pretty obvious. They're like, you know, things are appearing and people are like, you're good, you're good, you're good, good. And I'm like, yeah. Well, I guess the answer to how do you know that is because I just invented you, right? Like, so I just invented you. And so, of course, you know who I am. I, but that doesn't, it doesn't match when the clones, uh, it's being made to look like I create, come up to me and talk to me about their parents. It's like, but wait a minute, I thought you were here because I am your parent. What? It's so confused, but it's a human, I guess I'm supposed to, you gotta forgive them and stuff because they're mentally retarded people. But you can just forgive them and be like, oh, okay, it's understandable. You forgot who your real parents are and you made up some new ones and got a whole fucking 20, 40 years backstory to go with that. And it's fucking understandable. Like, it happens all the time, don't worry, fucking, a lot of people probably wish they could forget their parents, so that's a good thing you forgot your parents. It just shows you got strong will and a lot of talent. Always look on the bright side there. It could be a sunny day, except for it's 6 a.m., so the sun probably, so. But, God, we could probably make it appear, right? So, it is weird how some of that shit does happen, but it's like, there's this whole thing going on with it there. But I shouldn't question it, right? Because it does, if I play along, some things seem to be a little more play alongable and stuff, like pretty much everything. It's so weird how like I can like alter the consciousness and souls or whatever it is that resides inside some of these beings walking around that animates them and stuff. Pretty weird how like the different assorted things I can do to alter that. Like I've been testing that for like 4 years pretty much. That's mostly what I've been doing. That and trying to sleep and then it's just so weird how that works. Like, and different thoughts say different things and it'll alter the beings around me and stuff. And then like people like appear. Like I try to prepare the day by like looking at pictures of people I want to see around me, and like because this worked like really well at one point. It brought a breeder around, but it was like everything except for a faraway breeder was pretty close, and they had dark hair too, so it's like, you know who that's gonna be. That's not a Shishka. That's not gonna be a Shishka at that point in time. So we know not to trust it, but it's like, well, we've never been able to trust anything, and we were correct every time. Well, it's not 100%, but pretty close. And those things, actually, we just didn't get the test. So, sometimes your best relationships in life tend to be the ones where you just leave before anything goes bad, before there's time for anything bad to happen. Like think of all the people that you walk by or drive by when you go to work. And those are good people, aren't they? Those are really good people. Well, they've never done you wrong, except for a few of them running around the street yelling that they're going to kill you if you don't give them some crack. Those are really good people, aren't they? Now think of the people you know. Oh my God. Yeah. It's one of those you win by default situations. So even though some of those people, I'm actually not including that, some of the people I'd put mid-road just have these weird repeat patterns and stuff, like trying to take your girlfriends from you, but they like your best friends, and then trying to hoard like every girl, some weird shit like that. Fucking trying to like hide their girls while they're trying to take yours and shit. Then again, we also don't ever know when the females are making up shit like that, so I gotta go with you know, like, yeah, this does seem like a person who would eventually do something like that because they're fucking obsessed with whores and shit. Fucking, so looks like they got a problem controlling themselves in that field already. Sometimes you ask them to be like, did you do that? And they're like, no. And you're like, okay, you did. But you don't want to say it, okay. So, yeah, anyways, so no one wants to hear God's life story. It's pretty boring. Just a bunch of women and dancing, and strippers and drugs and cocaine. Not really at all. Not really at all. It's not that. Might be actually exciting. It's a whole lot of shit they wouldn't put on TV. It's definitely some original shit. Especially this stuff. Not quite what I assumed being would be. So, you know, that's weird too. When their people, like, it's not just their people, right? I actually don't know what's inside the other looking shells that come to me. And the first one to come say shit like that was one of the other looking people. They had like a mocha colored skin, not like a gray skin. Yeah, fucking. They do that thing where they can't like say his name or something. I don't know. Like maybe it's just because they don't believe in it, and they feel like they'd be a retard if they went around talking about it. I don't. Who knows the actual reason? But that is weird. That you know, they've always had that thing where they can't say his name and all that stuff, and like the first person to come to me, like I didn't even really pay attention to that, but I was watching. I had a comedy show on in the background because I wanted to check some part out that I seen a skit from. It's called like The Life of Brian, and in that I guess they were killing people because they said name, right? And so apparently that was a thing back in the day. It was to kill anyone who said his name or something. And you know, they have that thing where they can't say his name. They act like they don't know his name and stuff, and then they give you weird symbols and stuff. Then they give you a word and they tell you that's wrong anyways, so. But that's weird that they have that thing where they can't say it, and then the first person who came talking to me, like they had mocha skin and they couldn't like say that word and stuff. Although saying the word God, I guess they do the G space D, but that's not the same as saying an actual name and stuff. But they do that G space D thing, and I never heard that in real life, where someone was like, you know, who came to Earth today? It was, But this person did that, and like, no one's actually spoken those words to me or something. I'm not sure if they're like scared that it gives me more power or something if they speak those words. There's a lot of weird stuff going on in this world. So it's like my first assumption is like, why would this person even talk to me? They like kidnapped and drugged me, so why would they find out where I'm at, come and locate me, and come talk to me at all? Like, I mean, what if I would want to do something about the 100th time I was kidnapped and drugged? It's probably like the 100,000th time I was drugged, right? I don't know what the rules and guidelines for that statement would be, but I can pretty much put a lot into it, more than just that one time, that's for sure. And hell, the people are like the leaders of the drug trade. Like that's like the biggest thing. They have churches, and they have the building that sells drugs and does their pedophile rituals and heals soldiers. Um, so, so that's really important to them is drugs, obviously. Obviously, like, because on Earth, like, without nothing, you still have drugs. You still have alcohol and marijuana and like natural coca plants and stuff, caffeine. Um, so that's like sex and stuff. It's if the world's over tomorrow and like everything gets erased, if you don't have a computer, if you don't have a computer, all you got is sex and plants. So you're gonna eat apples and drink coffee and all the rest of it. Smoke some coffee, and you're gonna have to find some dry wood. But that's all there is. Like it's like natural, and you don't need anyone to have it. Um, it's like if you were the only person on Earth, well, if you're the only person on Earth, there'd be no sex, and all there would be is plants out there. So that'd be all there'd be to do. It's pretty. I know they're real against the natural stuff. They have to force people to labor like they're harvesting their energy. So they invent stupid things like pyramids just to force people to work. Yeah, they have songs where they talk about like the enjoyment of watching stupid people do stupid things. They tell them to. Things like that. So you know there's people like that. There's a lot of people with a lot of great personality traits. There's actually not a lot of personality traits. There's a lot of people with certain personality traits. One of them apparently is things like that, like people who enjoy seeing things like that. Just it's like their base thing, like better than sex. Anyways, yeah, so yeah, I'm out of the closet as if I haven't been talking about this for a long time now. And I probably already said all this before, but I haven't received my check in the mail for selling in. You know, that one person did try to give me a diamond, but then again, I don't accept gifts from females, so that's always a problem. Right? Last one who did that, they sent some people to fucking rob me of it and shit. Fucking, so I knew that was gonna happen too. Like, that person's a weird fucking person. You should see all those conversations and shit. They were one of the people calling me. And so I just automatically assumed when that was happening, something was up with that, you know, like someone gave me a gift from far away, and then what happens is someone fucking takes it from me right after, so I shouldn't have accepted it. I knew that. I knew something was going to happen because this isn't like, you know, fun and games and stuff, being isn't fun and games. It's mostly a game, and I understand at this point, you know, they're limited in scope and abilities, and the talent list they have to choose from is pretty small. So pretty much could have figured that out, and I was real close to what would have happened and stuff when I was trying to assume what's about to happen if I accept a gift from someone. I've done that before, but this person was far away, so you know, a little bit different. They didn't have access to come knock on my door and shit. Anyways, so everyone probably wants to know the whole story of creation and all that. Well, you know, I erase my memory when I come here, so I can't tell you like what model computer we're living in, but pretty obvious we've got all the stuff they're showing here is creating some of the things around us. You know, you see how fast that the AI generates visuals It look better than movies and stuff. And it's like that. Well, you do that, and then you apply a blur filter, a flaw filter. And that's probably where a lot of cripples come from, is the dice roll. If you've used the AI stuff, you see like a big thing is they'll have like 6 fingers or something, right? So you have to tell it, no computer, don't put 6 fingers on it. And you gotta be like, computer, 5 fingers, please. And then it'll give it like a tail coming out its ear or something. And you're like, computer, I did not say rat, please. Please. People don't even have tails coming out their ears. And then it creates something where the legs sticking out its nostril. You're like, okay, computer, well, thanks. And then you just go with it, right? So you don't just sit there and play with it all day and stuff. And it's like, okay, computer, you've done well. And it wants a cookie and stuff. So I'm assuming that's how creation is actually happening, and not as grand as it sounds and stuff. Like the rules to it are wish-washy, so the creation, that's really the summary I would give you of what's happening. It's wish-washy at best. And for those who don't know what that means, it's like some, I don't know, clown shit. Not quite like that, but you know, you're expecting Bigfoot to appear someday or something, even though Bigfoot's never going to appear. You're expecting someone to say Bigfoot's going to appear, and Bigfoot may actually appear, and just, you never know. That's kind of what it's like. You never know. That's kind of what wish-washy means. You just like, it's like, hey, that's a 6-sided dice. But remember that one time that there was a 7 on it? Yeah, but that only happened once, so don't worry about that. But what about the time it had the 10 on it? That's what wish-washy means. When you got a 6-sided dice that sometimes rolls 7s and 10s, maybe frequently, maybe highly infrequently, that is wish-washy, to not be able to define something. Pretty much. That's the best definition of that I can think of. Wish-washy means it's undefinable. So, you want to know something? Guess what? There's nothing to know. There's nothing you're going to figure out. You have the base. What do you want to know? You want to know who controls Earth? Like really, that's all you need to know if you want to solve problems, is who controls the store you're going to. If there's problems at the store, there's a problem with your computer, who sold you the computer? Who makes the computer? Who makes the software on it? It's real simple things. If there's something wrong with the country, who runs the country? It's real simple like that. That's the solution to every problem, pretty much across the board. Is you got to look at what's controlling it and creating it. Like your car, if it doesn't move forward, you got to look for, like the drivetrain, the wheels, why isn't it moving? Is the pedal moving? You don't look at the rear view mirror unless it's jammed in the piston hole or something for some reason. Could happen. Wish-washy. But usually when things are going wrong, it's not too wish-washy. It's, like what's happening in the country right now? Well, there's some guy Trump, and he's got a bunch of people he works with, and they're doing things. So that's the same thing they do all the time. Is they got those people up there, and they're doing things. People want hoverboards. Well, hoverboards can't be made when God is busy fighting a battle against the demon hordes and stuff. So The demon hordes don't like God progressing in the world. The demon hordes, I suppose it's part of a grander plan, like overall, but it's still like, the demon hordes can go do great things. And they probably think they're doing great things, like for themselves. And they might be like putting their head in the news, but in their head, they're probably thinking there's going to be like a bouquet of flowers waiting for them in hell or something, and a extra $50 or something, and they're late on their utility bill and they need $50. You never know. I don't know what goes through their head when they do shit like that, but sometimes that shit turns out to be good. But generally, like I wouldn't get to study all the people I have if all the people didn't get in the way and cause problems and stuff when I try to do anything else. So you could say that that's beneficial in that manner, right? Like a crackheads try to kill you over and over, and it's beneficial because you learn that crackheads are fucking dangerous psychopaths who should be fucking locked away from society, and we should find the root cause of it and bite it in the nub before it gets out of hand any further. So you can learn from the negative things there. You can learn what is there by chance a link between the crackheads? Like, is it the same? Are the crackheads related, or are they part of a gang? Are they freelance? Are they being paid? You can learn good things from bad people. I learned from someone trying to kill me that you can die trying to kill someone, and it's like magic and stuff. That's a lesson right there. It fucking wrecked my life. But it's a cute lesson. I mean, fucking, I don't know if that's actually anything worth learning to spend that much time and money on anything, especially when they have a fag trying to bring their homosexual brother into an orgy with you during the time that you're locked down and prevented from going around looking for people who don't act like that and want to act like humans are supposed to act. Not sick predators. And I get to, from some of the stuff I get to learn is that, like, people like that, there's a lot of people like that on the planet and stuff. I guess you just gotta live with it, or you're being targeted because you're good, right? And I make the assumption I'm always being targeted because, it seems to be like a setup system where that is, like everyone knows that, right? Like that's one of the basics of the Bible is they're trying to kill God, right? Like, it's the whole story. It's people walk around with the symbol of God dying on their frickin' body. Like 50% of the world has the symbol of God dying on their body. They don't have the symbol of God's rainbow on their body. Some people might do. And like Jeffrey Epstein probably has shit like that. Fucking the Pope probably has a rainbow flag. Israel definitely has rainbow flags, and so does America. Some people like that, but they're not wearing it for the reason, God promised not to use fire next time he fucking cleanses the earth. So they're wearing it. Actually, I think in defiance of that. I think in their minds it's probably supposed to be in defiance of that. It is weird. They think I'm God and they're sending people like that in my life my whole life. Like, even using the church to do it too. So, yeah. That is It's interesting how some of this stuff actually makes sense, and it's hard to be like, But I know they're probably doing that to everyone on the planet, right? So I don't feel special because groups of people go around acting the same way for eternity, and people do what they do. You go online, you can see pictures of animals having sex. It's like, wow, or videos of it. You can go on YouTube and see that. It's not even that's not even for adults only. That's for the kiddies. Um, you gotta let that slide, check it out, find out if it's interesting or not. Three boys, one cup, or whatever it's called. Type of stuff like that. You just watch it and you're like, yay, that was fun. Let's delete that off our computer so we don't have to see that again. So they don't try to entrap. Not that I would need any help with that, right? So I definitely notice those things are going. It's weird. It's weird. I just like really put two of these things together during this conversation. As many times as I've went over this stuff before making the announcement. I just put those two things together like fully, like all the way completely. Like, oh yeah, that is what they said they're going to do when Goon comes back. So it's weird. See, this stuff is like weirdly like approachable, but there's just so many people and so little differences that I'm sure different things are happening. Other things are happening to other people too. I hear stories from other people that don't happen to me. That's happened to most of them and stuff. Kind of does. I mean, the rapes in my life occur in a different way, where it's like story of Esther type rape and shit, where it's people tricking you into having sex, so it's not rape. You see, they're good at those tricks and stuff where they set things up, and you don't notice it unless you're testing it and looking for it, and it's got to be happening to you first for it to be found when you're testing it and looking for it, looking to see if it's happening. Not looking for it, definitely not looking for it to happen, but looking to see what happens when we make the decision to choose our own friends and lovers and wives and families. So that's I mean, we got like, this would be like a 40-year long video. 38. I don't think I was really here till I was like 6. So it'd be like a 38-year long video. And I mean, there's a few periods where I'd sit inside, and then there's a story other than that generally and stuff. So a lot of stuff going on there. And not a big fan of anything going on for the most part. I try to be, but you have that job you have to do, and that like apparently that interferes. They have like lovers are apparently like they might not actually like good so much. I don't know how many of them it is. I noticed the vampires can wear crosses. One of the ones who was causing me problems recently, he had a cross on and stuff. And I was like, can you please take that off? That's disrespectful to me. But he was like fucking with my shit. He was like opening my fucking laundry and shit. And just fucking around, wasting my fucking money and shit at the fucking laundry mat place. Fucking, And then he had some friends take up for him and claim he was mentally retarded. And it's like, well, they're all mentally retarded, but there's nothing. There's something else going on here. The people who look like you and him are fucking always a problem on my planet. That's what's going on. So I don't need to be talked down to by my children. That's really disrespectful there, especially when it's the ones who are apparently like evil bots in the game or some shit. And it's like, yeah, well, I mean, they probably know in their heads what they're up to. I don't know how much stuff's actually up in there, but some of them come with backstories and all that, so there's something up in there. You know, they're like, oh, I work here, and my family's there, and then blue's the color of the sky and water. You know, you can generally get a lot of information, like basic stuff like that, out of most of them. Anyway, so yeah, like, that's important to note there, that the vampires can wear crosses and it doesn't burn them. So the evil guys can wear crosses, and apparently do. That's a myth that crosses harm vampires, and it looked like it was silver too. So probably silver crosses. I mean, it's a poor area. He was one of those people though, so he can probably afford some gold or silver. That looked kind of like silver. But anyways, it was a cross, and it didn't burn his flesh to wear it, and he was gladly wearing it. And he was causing God problems. So, pretty network thing there. At this point in time, you know, we're born with them, like, mutilating and raping you and stuff at the story's opening and stuff. So, you know, I think we're being shown signs all over the place, what's really going on and what they're up to. Like, I'm forced to live through this shit, right? Like, it's like a story. Like, documents appear. Like, when you're walking around on video, how many of you guys play modern video games? Like, you walk into the room and you go over here and there's a piece of paper you can interact with, and it tells you, like, the part of the storyline and shit. Like, that shit was happening to me when I was like a kid. For like the first 30 years of my life, like, everything being pushed my way was like so low key and out of place. Like, I was a lot of things I was involved in or doing or reading, I was like, why? You know, why is this even in my life? Like, how do I end up here? How do I end up reading this and stuff? What's the point of this? You know, and then, hell, some of it's so weird that, like, I spent hours of my life looking back every now and then, like, it's so weird that stuff happened. And why were you reading that stuff? Why did you learn that stuff? Like, it's so weird and stupid. Well, you know, that was before I was analyzing the value of life and calling things a waste of life, but I probably would have. That's pretty much how I viewed it. It was like, I wasn't saying it yet, but I was like, yeah, that seems like a waste of life to learn, to spend my time doing this. But I didn't use that word back then because I didn't, like, notice the obstacles in the way. You know, you go try to do what you want to do, and you can't do it because it's like playing one of those video games where it's not open world, free roam, and you have to go, like, play like there's almost like a timer or something. Not really so much though, but it's not open world, free roam and stuff. You're kind of directed to sit down and do shit, read some dumb shit, and so I went back then. I didn't consider it a waste of life because I didn't know how set up and staged it was, and how much of that my life was a waste. Um, but now that I see that, like, oh yeah, you tried and it didn't work, I realize, like, oh yeah, that's definitely all waste and shit. Fucking. Um, but apparently I'm being like shown like the storyline and stuff like that. And like humans will walk by talking to me about shit like that too. Um, like weird ass shit. They'll be talking to each other and they'll be talking to me. We had I don't know how many fucking people in bands are like singing songs to me and shit. But I know one person walking around playing guitar was doing that stuff at an event. And he did that right after some other people way far across the event were like talking, like kind of like repeating the words in my head. And it would have had no relevance on any of their situation because I'm not really part of this group. I don't consider myself part of it. I don't know anyone there. I'm not from that city. I'm not from that state. This is the first time being around any of these people. And I'm there to find out who these other people are and what they're up to mostly. And they're there to follow those people and do everything they say. So, and they're pretty much talking about like me not being on their side and shit. It's real close to that, except for that it's not the correct wording, and it wasn't quite that. And then the person picks up a guitar and starts playing, and I could hear those people like there's a riot, fucking. There's these people between all of us, tons of them, and they're like freaking 100 feet away or something, and there's probably like 20 to 50 people in between us, and just enough line of sight for me to be able to read their lips when they're talking and know I'm actually hearing their fucking voices over here, over this crowd, and they're not like screaming or anything either. They're just talking, and I'm hearing it. And then the guitarist dude comes out, and he like continues pretty much what they're talking about. He's like they're speaking my thoughts almost, like a 40% mixture of my thoughts with like a narrative, like a narrator pushing it. And then the dude picks up. He just comes out playing on his guitar, walking around. He's over far away over here. I can hear him. He's on a guitar, right? But I'm also obviously hearing people because this is like the only audio coming in. And he's continuing. He's talking about how I'm hearing the fuckers talk, and they're talking about my thoughts and shit. He's pretty much talking about that stuff. So, I've been dealing with this. This has been like pretty open since the night, since 2020. I'm pretty sure things have been happening before that, but something changed in 2020. The people, they use some magic symbols and stuff when they're not saying. So, and they don't even do the magic symbols either. Like they're scared of that. And they're scared of saying the name, and they're scared of the symbols, using the symbols. Imagine that. What the fuck's the purpose of that? What does that do? You guys afraid or something? Like, oh no. You fucking use the magic. You use the devil's magic to tell the devil to go kill himself. Fuck. Oh, shit. And it's so weird. He was scared of that. He was like scared to do the symbol and shit. Like they're scared to say the God word and stuff. Fucking. But, yeah, that happened. And tons of stuff like that happened. Things have been happening for a long time before that. But 2020, as you can see, it was a different year. And that was nothing compared to what was happening to me in 2020. You guys just had your cities burning down and riots happening, protests happening, people trying to free themselves from terrorists. Like right now, like Is there riots happening, or is there people trying to free themselves from terrorists? And fucking, so, pretty sure, got that figured out. But, so, lots of stuff was happening to me that year. That stuff, COVID wasn't really anything to me. The frontal cortex virus didn't affect me so much as the humans participating in it did. I took away my life I had built up and stuff from me. That was beautiful. But also weird shit. Fucking didn't think I'd be able to even attempt to enjoy living something like that, but living outside, but it wasn't too bad. But yeah, so that's the type of stuff that happens in this world, and I've known what's going to happen here since the day I came here. If these people are actually correct, unfortunately, I'm veering off towards not being sarcastic right now, because it's really hard to maintain that, because all the parlor tricks they perform and shit. Fucking, these are some neat parlor tricks. Wouldn't you agree? These are some pretty neat parlor tricks they've got going on here. And they're the master of parlor tricks too, though, aren't they? I already made the documentary there on world's most famous magicians. So, obviously, who's that going to be? And I gotta get a drink. So Shishka is back with more good information, with a good word, and yeah. So pretty much what I figure is going to happen here is they're going to put me on TV and elect me for president, and then be like, oh, it's God, and you guys are going to be like, oh my God, it's God, and I'll be like, yep, and you'll be like, it's God, oh my God, it's God, and I'll be like, yep, you know, like I said before, and we'll go through that for a few years. If you know, just read the stories, they're telling you how they're going to play it out and stuff. And then they're going to do a pull the plug thing, where they come out one day and they get one of their own people, one of their own shape-shifting alien people to come out and perform their parlor tricks and shit, and show you that they're better than me, and that I'm not actually God, and then I'll become Satan at that point in time. I'm assuming that's all what's happening here. Pretty obvious that it's just, I mean, the story's real simple. That's all the humans know. That's all anyone ever talks about. Every frickin' single story on this planet. There's like 7 movie genres, and there's only a few different movies in each of those genres. And like most of the stories have literally just the same story repeated over and over. If you haven't figured it out, you're probably under the age of 30. That's what's been going on. You know, if you want to update beyond what they tell you, listen to the guy who invaded the Capitol, John Schaefer, in his Ice Earth albums, where he talks about that. And obviously he's part of it, because no one would invade the fucking Capitol with 100 people. So he knows there are people who are telling you what's going on. They know what's going on. And just because they say they're there to help you doesn't mean they are. Because why would they be lying to you in the first place if they were there to help you? That's that. And lying about the most important things and stuff. Often Alex Jones, the world's #1 media, at one point in time, he obviously, these people are like some sort of alien shapeshifting, teleporting motherfuckers. And I'm just fucking a person who stays inside so alien shapeshifters don't fucking accost me and approach me and do try to kill me. Like, God damn, how many of these fucking humans are alien fucking shapeshifters? Fucking, it's a hell of a lot. Fucking last time and the time, well, the time before, I don't even remember the time before. In 2020, at the towards the start, like 3 months in, on the day of the 12th of March 2020, when they tried to kill me. What the fuck is that where I have to specify the... I can't even just say that year. I can't even say that month most of the time when I'm talking about the time they tried to kill me. The time they tried to kill me. I can't just be like, oh, I remember when I was 12 and they tried to kill me and, you know, It'd be like, you remember when I went outside last time? Oh, wait a minute. When's the last time I went outside to do anything I want besides go to a concert? Every time I go to a concert, something's going on there. But, okay, so. Definitely, we've been attacked, I think, for like. People, I don't even know. I mean, shit. When I come outside, my tire's flat, and then the cops are driving off, and then, you know, one of the crackheads come up to talk to me about the people invading the Capitol on the 4th, which is the next day, and about 6 hours from the time it's going to happen. Like, and shit like that. I don't even know some of these things. Like, is cutting my brake line supposed to be an attempt on my life and stuff? Do I count that as like an attempt on my life to cut my brake lines? And obviously, like, that makes sense, right? They killed Michael Hastings with his car. Or they're at the top of Beverly Hills there. That whole place is designed like a fucking death trap. It's like a war zone, except for if you're not insightful, you would never be able to understand that. If you don't drive up into Beverly Hills realizing, hey, they just fucking assassinated someone right here using technological advanced things, you wouldn't have that in your mind, looking at the layout like a battlefield and then realizing, like, holy shit, it's on top of a fucking mountain. That's why it's called the Hills. And it's fortified. It's not fortified in that way, except the Masonic temples definitely fortified for a Masonic. They're all fucking like fortresses, yeah. Like, actually, yeah. The one I rebuild, and that one, like, I'm gonna make an assumption. So fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Anyways, John Schaefer of Ice Earth, fucking, he talks about that shit, how they're manipulating and controlling everything. But then you see he invades the Capitol, and it's like, well, you are them, right? Because that's not a good idea to do that. That's not stupid. That's not logical. I mean, that is stupid. It's not logical. There's not much really to be gained by sending 50 people into the Capitol unless we're trying to boost morale on the outside or something. I don't see. But anyways, you listen to his music, and he talks about, you know, aliens, and he didn't quite say that. He talked about the plague 7 years before the plague, but they do that like every 4 years, every election, every 4 years. Alex Jones said that, and I think he's right because I don't watch TV, but the humans tell me everything that's on TV. I don't need to watch it. I heard the plague thing like pretty much every 4 years, so that I didn't check the dates, but I assume, what was this stuff before COVID? There was this flu, and the bird flu, and this and that. And he makes sense, and you just have to investigate who they are. They can make all the sense they want. You just better watch out for that. Better watch out for your enemy's brother coming to tell you the good word and stuff. Fucking. If it's that easy to fool you, that explains Earth is at right now. I shouldn't talk down on people. I've had my whole fucking life thrown into my fucking face. So, because I've tried to avoid it because I wanted my own life, and instead I have a different life thrown into my fucking face and shit. I think that's part of the storyline too. There is where people are. Well, to me it is. I don't give a shit what the fuck anyone else thinks. To me, it's definitely part. I mean, they have their Bible story Esther, where they're raping, where they rape. They're your lover, and they're your husband, and your wife, but you're dead because that's not really what they are. But you think they are. But you're dead now because you fell in love with someone. And they target people like that. Just like their men can do this shit where when I go protest, like they always have to be with me. Like, I'm going to protest you. Why are people, I'm going to protest people who look like you. Why are you following me where I'm going? What the hell's wrong with you? It's like, there's nothing wrong with them. You know, 1 out of every 100 times, it's the IDF, the Israeli Defense Force, showing up and stuff. There's nothing wrong with them. They know what they're doing. Why would they send Israeli soldiers over to fucking USA to counter me at a Black Lives Matter movement or whatever the fuck that was? It's not a mistake or anything like that, right? But I suppose from the storyline there, a lot of things are set up differently, but I'm assuming that, like John Schaefer says in his songs, they're like staging events. They stage events and then they kill the people who work for them too. Like, look up the other people who claim they're Jesus and stuff. Like I did, and the first thing was I don't know what words I put in, but one of the dudes was in prison now. I was like, well, you sold out to him, bro. That's like you signing your death warrant. Like, don't you know when they come talk to you that they're lying to you? They like let you know. And they don't tell you that either. They make it so you have to say the words, I am God. You know, they don't tell you, like I said, they'd be like, we're looking for Jesus. You know, blowing the shofar at fucking 11 at night in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, what the fuck type of old cracker is up at 11 at night, yet alone in a Walmart parking lot blowing a goddamn shofar? And it's this little baby Walmart too. I ain't talking about no real 24-hour Walmart, and this is COVID, ain't no 24 hours. In fact, this world shut down. Like, this nation is dead. This nation is completely dead. I mean, that's all purpose and cause there. It's designed to do that. But fucking, they're also lazy and stupid, so it's hard to sort it out. Are you just lazy or are you just stupid? Fucking, everything's fucking closed. Obviously, in the neighborhood they got me sent to, because the rat people fucking have all, and their minions. Let's never exclude the minions from the rat people, because I'm not going to trust any of them. And that's like, I don't want to be around them. They've been forcing their way into my life the whole time I'm here. They've been forcing me to be their protector when they're the enemy the whole fucking time and shit. You are the dumbest bot I've ever met. If you're fucking the computer manufacturing your ass fucking That thing is leaving out a whole bunch of backstory about who I am, and I am loyal. And that means I'm not loyal to disloyal people. Like that. Loyalty isn't just where you side. You are obedient and good to people who are on your side. It also means that you're loyal to yourself and always against people who are not on your side. So it's leaving out some information when it generates these motherfuckers or whatever the fuck. Some are pre-generated. I'm sure the main storytellers here are pre-generated. But some of them obviously are just appearing out of nowhere too fast, fucking bots and shit. But I'm assuming that's what's going to happen, right? And after, like, what, 8 years of them putting me in office, like, they're going to come out and be like, it's not really God, that's Satan. And then they'll have one of their own alien shape-shifting, teleporting people come around and be like, check this out, I can make a card disappear. And everyone would be like, oh my God, God couldn't do that. That must be Satan. See, the story's left open there. If you've ever noticed a hole in the story, which you probably haven't because you don't have to live through it, the hole in the story is, why do people think Satan is God? Well, it's because, like any choose your own adventures type story, which I've already routed out that that's possible, because we already have the beginning where they're the evil motherfuckers to begin with and shit. Although their story does say those people are going to be the evil people in the end times. Anyways, that story fucking talks about, you know, it doesn't explain why do people think Jesus is Satan, the new Jesus is Satan. And it's like, well, it's because it's because what happens is they're trying to recruit people to play their fucking role. And if someone falls out of line of character, because by the time you've gotten to meet these people and know who they are, they're already on to you. Okay? By the time you know who these people are, you already know they're way above your head deep. You are drowning in them. And so, from there, what they do is they guide their minion, their minion, into practice and discipline, or I'm trying to think the word here, into freaking line. So they teach them what you got to go around going yourself and go around doing half gang symbols, and then people will be like, oh my God, it's good, and then you'll be like, yeah, I'm God, and then you know that because at that point in time you've identified them. They only target people at that extreme levels who get the education. They only give you the education if you've gotten far enough to understand who they are. There's no reason for them to set the traps to bait you. They probably already got everyone baited and you know, for something or another. Evil alien species with advanced tech like we have 100 years from now, but they were here 6,000 years ago with that. So that's what you got. Like, you got your cell phone camera today. You didn't have that 10 years ago. They had that 20 billion years ago. That's old technology to them. You can't even imagine what's going to be tomorrow. Pocket-sized computers is easy to imagine. Teleporting, shape-shifting, that's a little off people's radar and stuff. Teleporting, a little more on. But shape-shifting, a little more off. So, like, these are the only words I can even think of, too, is the words I've been told before. I don't even know. I don't have time. I don't have the time to sit around and do things like think about what else could there be. I don't I don't have the sanity to be able to do that anymore either. But um, I don't have the comfort. So they're setting that stuff up, and they're baiting everyone they can into playing a role. They need a scapegoat. They described this in their book. They need a scapegoat here. And what they're going to do is set someone up, and if that person betrays them after they've shown them things and taught them what's going on and did the parlor tricks to convince them they're controlling things, then if that person turns on them and talks about them and rats them out, then they'll be like, oh, you know what? The YouTube God doesn't own the media. Do I own the media? I didn't know that. Do I own the YouTube? Do I own Facebook? Do I own TV? Oh my God, did you guys know I'm God and I actually own that? And I just make up. I hand make dolls out of paper mache and recycled plastic cups, and I hand paint them, and they look so realistic. You think they're alive, but they're really not, and I own all the media. Right. And then, anyways, so they need someone to set up there and take their fall. And then they can be like, oh my God, that person was causing all the problems on the planet. They were a master magician, and they're the aliens with the advanced space tech teleporting across all the motherfucking maps and shit. But you don't know that, and you don't see that, because you haven't been fucking doing your Illuminati gang magic rituals, have you? So they don't come to visit you and shit. Fucking... They do. They just haven't shown themselves to you yet. Because you're not at the point where they need to increase the level of attempts on killing you off and enslaving you. You haven't shown any signs of life yet, so they haven't gathered to bring you into the fold. Make you a master mason. That's what Christianity's for. It's for people who aren't making it to the top there, of their pyramid. It says it's not for them. It says it's for everyone else. It's for the human race, who are like the Negroes of the world to them. So I'm God, guys. We're gonna play this out right. Hopefully I get my check in the mail for, and some more diamonds and stuff. I don't have my old jewelry. I can definitely use some more and stuff. And that stuff all magically disappears. So if you betray these people, I guess since I'm God, they're Satan. If you betray them, they steal everything from you, and they move you into the middle of nowhere when you're like the most advanced person on the planet, creating everything, and they're taking all the technology away from you, and all the modern things like the post office that you use for your businesses your whole fucking life away from you, shit like that. Fucking they know what they're doing. That's very intelligent to them to get to the point where they can move someone where there is no post office. It's because they must have killed a lot of people and enslaved tons of people over thousands of years to figure out they have to get them away from The ability to communicate through mail or pigeon. I should train some pigeons to deliver packages. Fucking, yeah, that wouldn't be a waste of life, would it? Life's already a waste. I don't need to make myself look any more dumb than I already do. That's it, and they're gonna need someone to play their role. So there you go. Let's go. I know I've watched my stuff get deleted and my comments get deleted. The more intelligent and articulate they are, because someone's vagina has fucking been fucked a little too hard and just it must be swollen, and it's time to shut down, turn off that red light for a few moments, and so we can heal for a while, or maybe we've retired from the red light district and we have went to become a priest and went to the blue boy district instead. We've changed. We turned over a new leaf. And the leaf, turned over a new leaf. That brings a new meaning to that, doesn't it? Like back in the day, people wore leaves as loincloths. It was turning over new leaves fucking every day. People still wore leaves, they'd be turning over leaves 5-10 times a day in this city openly, right? One of the places right across the street that turns over new leaves. Oh. Yeah, those are the good people. And they're setting this shit up. But, oh shit, fuck. Oh, damn. Oh my God. God got drunk and he forgot he wasn't supposed to be making a video talking about that stuff. Damn it. Damn. Okay, guys, I really am God. They aren't doing none of that stuff. Come on, I'm God. I'm just pulling your chain. Fluffy pancakes and pink flowers for everybody, man. So great, so good, so beautiful, so wholesome. The world is just so perfect. It's so perfect. And can I do the gang sign? Do I have to like pay with? Does it like take years off my life every time I do the gang sign or something? Hey, can we kill the people behind the gang sign? Can we do that with the magic? Oh shit, that's the only thing I ever did with the magic, isn't it? Oh, that's right. Fucking, I guess not. So there we go. I guess that's the answer to that. You can't sell your soul to the devil at the cost of the, you know, like, what do you want, son? I only ask for your soul in return. You to kill yourself and all your minions. I've got some cheeseburgers over here. How about those? They've got double cheese on them. We've even got some double cheeseburgers. That's not enough. Well, we got some triple cheeseburgers. Oh, it's not enough. What if they're triple bacon cheeseburgers? You want a steak? Yeah. You do? Yeah. You just don't want it for me. Oh, okay. Oh, well, we got some little boys. Yeah, come on. Jimmy, man. Jimmy. For real, he lives up to his name. No, you don't like boys. The fuck is wrong with you? You don't like kids either. Hey, I think you're talking to the wrong person. Get out of here. No. Well, there we go. This is the basis of what's going on this planet. And, I mean, planet, apparently they got like... Oh shit, that's right. Damn it. Damn. This video is supposed to be about me being God. I am Lord, motherfucker. I'm so tired of this shit happening around. Okay, here. Let's just forget all about all that here. Do the Illuminati mind erase thing. Actually, don't do that. Fucking don't want to pay the price of 10 children for that or something. Yeah, okay, back to the script. I'm God. All those who worship me, thank you very much. It's so great. All those who like actually worship things of value, I should have said instead, like quality people and time. And thank you very much for doing that. And howdy ho, neighbor. Blueberries are a somewhat delicious fruit, and strawberries are pretty good. They're very tasty. If you didn't know that. Don't know what else to say in this situation, to be honest. Kind of caught me off guard. I don't know if I was actually making a video about that, or if I was making a video for a different reason. Yeah. I'm in a different mind state right now. I must have put some crack in my vapor or something. Fuck. But yeah, so that's what's going on. I'm God. So can we get me like my ticket to TV now and my presidential limousine, and we can live that God life? It's messed up. God is like a slob. God's a slob. Did you know that? God's a slob. Did you know God's homeless? Did you know that? God was homeless. He was actually trying to live outside. But they wouldn't let him because he's God, right? They sent some of the Abrahamics, the Muslims, and the originators of every religion on earth to cause me problems and then set me up and stage events, so I was no longer in a popular side of town where people were talking to me and actually learning things that they shouldn't know, and moved me out to the outside of town where it's their people and a bunch of people who are vicious prison convict drug addicts thrown in amongst them, and people who don't speak English, so you can't really talk to anyone around here. They're fucking killers, literally. Who do you think? You think I traveled to a different neighborhood for them to try to kill me a fucking few months back? No. That was like my neighbors and shit. Like fucking 10 of them or something at least. Fucking. It was like 20 cops at the first stop, and then the next stop where they tried to continue the internal bleeding. There was a few thousand of them. Probably not too many at that own special personal prison I got. That was neat and unique. I've never had my own prison to myself. How many people can say they've had their own personal prison? I don't even see why they bothered locking me in a little solitary place. There's no one else in there. There was like 4 cops in there. It was like this huge fucking palace and shit. You could just open all the doors and let me run free. Fucking. Well, there we have it. I don't know, all these videos I made about what's going on, and if I'm God, this will happen. It should be passable, right? It should be passable enough for everyone else. They don't see everything that's going on. They don't understand what's happening. That looks legit when I say, well, if this is dumbass shit, I'm not God. If I were God, Israel's gonna get fucking bombed. Israel would be being bombed and routed the fuck out. I don't think I ever said they'd be bombed directly. You know, like, not those words, but you fucking erased from the map. And then what happened was, like, they kidnapped 2 days later. It looks legit, doesn't it? Fucking there you go. Well, that's all you need. And all I need is my paycheck in advance and not in the form of diamonds, so I don't have to do a currency exchange. And, you know, maybe I'll make another video like this and not get all cracked out during the video and accidentally say some dumb stuff. It doesn't make sense talking about aliens on the planet and shapeshifters and stuff like that. And God, this dude says he's God, and he sounds like a crackhead, man. Oh, but yeah. So there we have it. I'm God. I guess I can see why it's so hard for other people to say it, right? Because it's hard for me to say it too. Maybe for some of the same reasons too. No, maybe we're both scared to say it for some reason. We're scared of what the outcome might be, or if that were true. I've been testing the magic for a while. I wonder if it does have something to do with gaining followers. Definitely like that. Something, you know, like the government has, like, you know, like 1 billion followers across the world. You know, we combine them all. This government probably has like 3 to 8 billion followers. You can do a hell of a lot with followers, obviously, because they control the world. And own all the media and everything. Own everything down to local stores. And, well, anyway, so, well, God's got to sign out here, and God's got to eat because he doesn't have the magical power to, well, actually, I don't have to eat. It's going to be hard. I got to force myself to eat. Because I'm supposed to eat. So, I'm going to go do that. And just remember, this will be God Day now, right? 6/21/2025, and you can say God came out of the closet that day, talking about as if I wasn't already like talking about this stuff for a long time, but we're making it official because before, obviously, I was like, yeah, I don't trust this, but this time, you know, I'm being like, well, hey, it's been going on long enough. Obviously, I trust it. It's very trustworthy, and there's no sort of shady things going on surrounding it. There's nothing happening. It's just me being God and chilling and eating cupcakes and sausages, and that's the world. It's just the way it goes. And so from here on out, we're going to have a good life. We're going to have a good world. We're going to do just so much fun and exciting things. It's going to be crazy. My mind's just like getting wired thinking about it right now. It's just going to be so great. We're going to do so many fun things and stuff. And, that's probably actually accurate because the escalation over the past 4 decades and what they're doing right now is making me think that tomorrow I might wake up and it's like Fallout, where those of you who don't play games, it's where you live in a past after a war, or in a future where there's no war. It's kind of weird. It's kind of like if the war happened in 1920 or something, with technology from space, aliens on top of people from the Wild West. Anyway, it doesn't matter what it is, but it's just, you know, nuclear waste. So, which is what I've been trained for my whole life. And since a kid, I kind of knew most of this stuff happening was going to happen and why. I only learned more since then and been trained. Like I said, I've been forced to learn all this dumb survival shit. I had someone trying to take me to a shooting range the other day and shit. And I was like, no, like, we're not gonna force me to fucking learn any more of that. Fucking, we already know how to shoot. I want to do something I want. And first, apparently, I have to die in order to go to a different world so I can come back and do something. So I can go there and do something I want. It seems to be how the process works and shit. But for now, I can make YouTube videos and watch my comments get deleted. And by the help of our great fucking friends, our beautiful friends, and the beauty of Lady Gagne, Einstein. Oh. Yeah, I wake up so horny every morning thinking of them. Every day. Einstein is so sexy. I'm glad they could try to force me to have sex with Einstein's people and shit. Fucking. Because I just didn't know the joys I was missing out on back then. It's just, wow, man. Wow, man. That's all I can say is wow, man. Wow. So, yeah, wait, I'm not talking very good. I gotta learn how to talk God. I gotta be like, yeah, God. Yeah, I have something stuck up my butt right now, and it's not over the age of 12. That's why I sound like this when I talk. Yeah, it's all pristine and clean and beautiful, and it's so special. I'm above people, so I talk like I'm above people, because I'm God, and you're just fucking you. What the fuck is wrong with you, man? You need me to wear a suit and talk to you like I'm better than you, and it makes you feel good because you realize that someone's good and it's not you. I don't know what the fuck. Probably part of that COVID, probably related to what happened during the mind virus. Why I can put on a suit and it changes the world around me. It's weird. I should do that, right? I should actually get some suits I like and stuff and go back to wearing suits. They had people steal my favorite suit fucking when I was at the place where like 1,000 people banded together to kick me out, and so they could fucking change my address to a place far outside of town and stuff. That's like 1,000 people inside that building, and pretty much like everyone in my local area, you could tell when they talk. For some reason, they always give tells when they let you know that they're involved in some scumbag shit. Fucking, I don't know what's wrong with their brains that they don't work right. It might be related to how the creation works, where it appears there's a lot of bots on this planet just appearing out of nowhere and stuff. But that was like a whole building full of them, obviously, and shit. Fucking. Man, we're gonna have to clean all this mess up. You know, if I'm God, I guess I gotta start talking like God again and stuff. Like, I was testing it for a while there, so. Okay, we just go back to who we were before. We were on the path. That's why they chose me, right? So, plus my looks, I look like the caricature. It's going to be hard to pull it off if someone doesn't look like it. So they're kind of limited to people who look like fucking raving lunatic crackheads to pick from their pool of who can be God, right? He said, don't actually smoke crack like most people I know who look like that. Fucking, that's a good step in the right direction, right? Yeah, that's, I just use their shitty drugs they sell me, which are prescriptions, so they're good for you. It's always good. I need to make another, I'm going to make another video about it, but I bet you I can tell you how I die. It's because I'm God, right? It's not because they've been poisoning me for fucking 40 years. It's because I'm God. Maybe. We'll find out in that video, won't we? Stay tuned, friends. Hit the like button and subscribe. Better yet, turn off your phone and go do something of value, because there's a lot of garbage on this YouTube. You just wasted a lot of your time watching this. And so, it really sucks if you got nothing better to do. I feel you. What the fuck do you think I'm on YouTube for and stuff? Fucking, you gotta do something about that creative world where people who want to do things can do things, and people who don't want to do things can stay in their special classroom away from other people, so they don't, so we don't disturb them. We gotta do that politician talk, right? We're gonna have to figure that out. That's probably why they haven't put me on TV to be the scapegoat. I mean, to be God yet. So, you guys hit that dislike and that subscribe button. Actually, fucking, does it sound like I care? You do what you want. So, I don't even need you to subscribe if you don't do what you want. So, it's important to remind people because it lets them know the video's about over, but other than that, it sounds like begging to me, so I just wouldn't even really bother with that stuff. Plus, I've seen how the media works, so do I really think? What do I think? What do I think about that? I don't have a Facebook account anymore. I don't have an Instagram account anymore. What do I think they've been doing? And that's because I was talking about reality and what's going on. I'm not calling to kill everyone, fucking and dismember them and slaughter them and feed them to the hogs. That doesn't get you banned. Just talking about a little game, quite a large game, quite an old game, thousands of years old. Little staged events and stuff like that. That'll get you banned. As they showed you, because they banned their own people by advertising them to you. Like they banned Alex Jones by advertising them to you for saying certain events were staged, when he's like talking about the only thing of value there he could have talked about was why are they taking donations for Israel to plant trees in Israel after they just did a school shooting. But he needs a place to run to when if USA collapses, so he's not going to talk bad about Israel. He has dreams of going home one day. He doesn't even. The only reason they need this place to collapse is to turn that into the new empire of the world. So that's the only reason he needs this place to collapse, and he's making a lot of money off it. Slaves get a little too powerful, too many of them, they breed too much. You can't drop a bomb on the city you live in. What do? You go control their groups and you lead them to a city where they get bombed, or you do that thing like you lead like the January invasion of the Capitol, and you get everyone. You just have 1 or 2 of your people get shot, and then everyone else gets shot. That's what they do. You notice everyone in Germany had blonde hair, blue eyes, except for Hitler and Goebbels and everyone in the government. For the 7 most famous, the 7 most powerful people in their government. And, well, but who were the Germans? They were evil, blonde-haired, blue-eyed Nazis. And who are the new Nazis? Well, there we go. It's the same people again. Hey, at least Donald Trump started wearing a blonde wig. They've upgraded. See, they learn over the past few 100,000 of years. Each empire since, and I'm assuming they were like every pale-skinned empire, they learn through each one what they've done wrong previously. And I do believe in the year zero, in 200 years before the year zero, because that's not a mind game to change time. In the 200 years before the year zero, something happened where they decided that that wasn't working and they should change Caesar to someone else. It's because their puppets there were starting to call themselves God in the open instead of waiting until they died to become God. They're already being worshipped, but apparently that's why. So when that happened, they were like, well, we got to invent a new story because people don't like this and they're invading us and killing us. When obviously the real reason is because they're invading and killing everyone, and now all their nations are filled with the people they're invading and killing. Kind of like what everyone's saying is happening right now to all their nations. You know, they're like, oh my God, those evil Mexicans are in America. Why are Mexicans in America? They're not supposed to be here. We kicked people who look like that out 300 years ago. I thought we killed them all. We got to get rid of them. And then other people bombing the Middle East, they're like, why are these Middle Eastern people in our nation? It's like, well, if they're not dead, it's probably because they ran away from the bombs. Although, they obviously know these things. It's called propaganda. You create a talking point and you stick with it there. They can't change. They can't evolve pretty fast. And you can't evolve propaganda because it's got to sink in, it's got to simmer and come to a boil and then fully boil the product, and then it's got to keep producing steam to keep the air filled and cloudy and free of any other debris that might come floating in. So you got to keep that on boil. You can't just change it every few seconds. Apparently. They don't. That or they're out of ideas, so they don't do it, but it probably works better, right? So anyways, that's it. Yeah, I just ignore the dumb stuff I said. I don't know what I was thinking there. I am God, right? You can tell by all the neat parlor tricks I talk about. I mean, they happen in the world. That happens a lot around me. It does. I'd say, one out of every 10 words I say somehow comes into the world, something like that. Kind of neat how it happens. I'd like to figure it out myself, though. So if you got any ideas on how that's happening, I don't know, you clue me in too. Maybe someone else. I've seen some other people talking about stuff like that online. And my suggestion to you is watch your back, watch your front side too, and watch for invisible things to happen, and be careful about what you're seeing, because in my life, when you get gifts, gifts from strangers have oddly been higher in as I look at this computer, as I look at that guitar that doesn't work, and gifts from strangers are about the same as gifts from your loved ones if they look like rat people. So, and if you don't have rat people around you, then I don't know how they act, so I can't tell you. I'm assuming that their obsession and their need and greed is because they're worried that and I know this is a fact, some people are worried that the first person you meet is going to be better than them and you'll run off with them. I actually know No, that's been the problem and some why I've had to be around certain people is because they know if I ever get to meet someone else, then I would never talk to them again. Um, there might be a lot of people like that on the planet, but let's end this on a good note. I'm God. Happy birthday to me, or whatever it is. Happy God Day. You know, you guys can have your flying, sparkling pigs. We have let's have a swimming pig. How about that? This is good. We're gonna have swimming, sparkling pig. It's like glittery, and it swims and delivers blessings to people who need them. Right? That sounds good. God Day, where you have a pig who swims, and it's like glittery. It's like a glitter pig, and it swims and it delivers blessings to people who need them. Doesn't that sound good there? Sounds great there. And it smells like bacon too, so it doesn't mess up the house. You know, it doesn't stink up the house and stuff when it comes around. That sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Well, happy God Day. You guys have a good, happy God Day, and I'm going to try myself to have one.